Welcome to the High Voltage Light Electric Vehicle channel. A bit of a change-up video here today. I've been asked to try out this Carpuride Carplay system it says motorcycles here, but I'm going to be using it on this e-bike that I'm building here. I had the opportunity to try this out for the first time when I went down to the States recently and hired a fairly new car to go, and it had this CarPlay in it, which is the Apple one. There's also like an Android one as well, and I got to try that out, and I loved it actually, just being able to sync to my phone right away. So the idea of being able to do that here as well really kind of appealed. So I thought, why not? We'll give it a go, and you guys can see if it works all right and if I think it's any good. It's going to be a couple of parts to this because I am going away on a holiday to UK for about 3 weeks, so I don't have time to get it all fully wired in. But I'll show you how I'm going to do it, and we can have a test demo of it, and then there'll be more video on it later. Okay, so we're going to go over what comes in the box, and then we'll probably do like a dry run or a hook it up to the battery that I'm going to be using with it, and then we'll look at how I'm going to implement this into the actual vehicle. Okay, so we've got quite a lot of cabling harness here. So we've got a mounting bracket, some cabling, the version I requested to try has a front camera, and I believe there is another camera in here as well for the rear, or this might just be a rear camera. Anyway, I'll get this all set up and we can have a close look. Okay, so we have the screen itself with its wiring, waterproof connections. This is the dock point at the back for putting in. I'm going to be putting it in central on the unit, so I might actually need to come up with my own hardware to mount it. We'll have to see, but it looks like this is relatively easy to change out. So if I do need to make something, I can screw it directly to the back. It's all these waterproof connections. They're all labeled, which is really nice to see. This is the main battery harness. It looks like it's very long, so I think I'm probably going to be stripping this down and putting on my own connector, because I'm going to be going straight to a 12-volt battery to make this work. I'm not going to be going into a motorcycle system. There's like a ground itself, so I presume I'm just going to ground that straight to the frame. You've got various bits of mounting hardware. I think this goes to the frame, and then I think this then articulates with the little ball joint on the back of the unit there. There's also 2 cameras. I think they're the same, but this is a front camera and also a rear facing camera, which is quite neat because it means that whenever I'm riding, there's going to be footage being taken front and rear. There's actually some push button controls, which is interesting. I thought the whole thing was done via the touchscreen, but yeah, I guess that's there as well. There's also a few of the more mounting bits, a remote control, and some tools, which I'm probably not going to use. But yeah, that's everything you get in the box. So the next part, I'm going to hook it up and we'll do just sort of a dry test run, make sure everything's working, and then I will show you guys how it's going to be implemented onto the bike. Okay, so I've got this set up just temporarily to check that everything is working okay. I have it set up with a 12-volt battery, and I'll be using a version of this on the bike. So this is the default screen you come with, and as a default it gives you various menu options, and it also links up to the rear camera. If you want to get both cameras, if you tap the camera, and you can see the front and the rear cameras. So I'm going to find a nice place on the bike to set those up, and it starts recording as a default as soon as you activate the camera and power it on, which is nice. So you'll never kind of forget about it. Oh, it takes photos too. So if I go back to the home, it's got a few basic options on here, and if I tap on Carplay, and this is kind of the main one that I was interested in, really, having tried it on a car, and it was very neat, and it gives you access to all the different maps. You can do Apple Maps, you can do Google Maps, it'll work. There is a version with this is an iPhone, but you can work with this with Android as well. There's basically the same thing, and you can swipe. So I've got my YouTube music. I've got my YouTube music, which is quite nice. And I need to get some headphones for my helmet, as well as like a mic system, so I can Bluetooth to that, and be able to take calls, do navigation, listen to music, all that kind of thing. Which I think is going to be quite handy, because I'm going to be doing some quite long range rides with this bike that I've got. So that's it operating, and what I'm going to be doing next is getting this all widened nicely and implemented onto the bike. So I'll show you the basics of that, but the actual proper wiring is going to be in a part 2 video, mainly because I want to do a really good job and have it all looking nice, and I'm about to go on holiday, so I'm going to need a bit more time to sort that out. So it's all operating, we've got the cameras there, and yeah, looks great. So essentially, this is how I'm going to have it installed once it's on the bike, and I might have to adjust my main display a little bit down there. Maybe I'll put it back up on the bar, but yeah, this is how it's going to be, sort of tucked in behind the fairing part here, and then all the wiring and the battery and everything is going to be contained in behind this. And I've built, I don't know if you can see it from here, I've built a shelf at the bottom. If I take this away, you can see down through. So there's a shelf there at the bottom, and I'll probably adjust that because there's also going to be like a road legal system going in there. But yeah, I want to get everything contained and tidied away behind there, so there's not a big rat's nest of cables everywhere. And that's the reason why it's going to take, you know, a couple of parts to get this all done. So anyway, that's it for part 1. I'm quite pleased with how it's going to sit there. I think it's going to look pretty good, and it's going to be good to have music and navigation and all the rest on the bike. And then after that, we'll go out for a ride with it, and we can see how it actually functioned on the road and how it works with the wireless headset and everything like that, and go from there. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you want to find out more about this, there's some links in the description for you to check out. Cheers.